How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video about the mini Crucible chapter number 3, in this case chapter 1 and 2. I already did it separately because I was already on vacation, but in this case we are already here and we are going to guide this secondary mission and also how to defeat this CERASTES with 3-star characters. We are already seeing that in the chapter. As always, they are going to ask us for 2-star characters, and the important thing is to do a small preview of before to see which ones are the first. Especially which one is the last one is worth deciding that the last one is Havoc. So there I recommend that we leave a character with armor and start with a vulture that has a passive effect of unity with the defender. That the referrer has a robust active market. It is the most sealed destination cancellation book. The truth is that it does not have important nodes then with any cosmic, and I always recommend that it be from the Fantastic Saga to benefit from the node, so we are going to do it. I think we're going to go directly with Silver Surfer, actually with any character from stars can be made correctly in a simple way, as you are already seeing. So we're going there. Let's remember that it is going to have robustness, it is going to be immune, cancellation, and all that. So you are going to see how quickly it is done with a character that introduces emotion. So here, for example, Angela serves you, any character serves you, okay? I already understand that the fights are actually very simple because the nodes are quite easy, so to speak, and the importance of carrying a character from the saga is that we will be able to go back and we will turn and untouchable. Them, sorry, I couldn't get the word out. We become untouchable, and in this way we are going to be able to do cruelty. I think, look, there we have to look. Well, in this case it hasn't come out, but nothing happens because we have super attack 2, and I'm seeing that also as you have that road. Well, our vulture basically takes away our power, blocks our power and all that. So an immune blocks powers. It's very good for us here, for example a gallant or something like that. Okay, this is literally the entire guide to be able to do this little mission. You are already seeing that a somewhat long video is going to come out because in this case, we have not chosen the character well, but nothing happens either because it is not difficult at all. Be very careful when there is that little icon of and through the disadvantages, and I would be looking to see if the simple thing that comes out is quite easy. I thought it was going to come out a little more complicated, and that we took it to the counter indicated here, for example, V or X Galan would have been much better. Okay, we're going to look at the next one we're seeing, which is Word. So we have to carry a Mystic. When the attack televised an interception, its attack force increases. It already appears political one or eliminates a disadvantage of attackers. He receives a generation slot, and it turns out that the defender has a disadvantage of anti-purges and sealed fate. So in this case, we are going to include a character that is mystical, for example Tiger, which is his natural point. Weekend. In fact, I think I'm going to put it in with Weekend. I really want to play with Weekend. It can be Render, it can be Doctor Doom. In the end, they are characters that prevent you from the great improvements that this Cap friend has. So let's move forward. Let's go for this second mini Crucible fight. And let's remember that the weekend rotation in the end, you have to hit hard. You have to maintain the lock so that in this case, the spells are put on as you are already seeing on the screen. And above all, end with a good weak blow to leave that neutralization. And this way of not letting any type of improvement be generated to Gore. Okay, let's see. If not, if he wants to go, it is already being taken away from us. So we are going to throw a super attack 1 to be able to continue pausing them. But in this case, he doesn't want to throw super attack 1, which in the end, Gore is the easiest. And the one that I recommend that you always use, you are already seeing how every time you try to get the best something, because there are even more generation disadvantages, you see that weekend is a totally brutal concept against this word, and how simple and quick we have made this fight. Next character, we have Omega Feel, the best defender robustness, or he has 175 duration and skill pressure. When you receive a fun critical hit impact, it removes a robustness improvement, the character that has the most unique improvements or has a cumulative passive fury every 1 second. So in this case, I think you have to bring a character that removes that robustness. She's our friend, and I think that with demolitions, she can serve us quite well. Okay, but also a character that generates many improvements. For example, there is Hyperion. It can serve us spectacularly as we win those furies with strong blows, and all that with our power accumulation can be very, very good in this case. But I'm telling you, any cosmic character like Hyperion Box, Corvus Deleke himself, to remove all those robustness improvements that he doesn't have right now. And I'm seeing how we are generating those improvements and also how we are doing more damage to him. Also, a character that critical metabol pets is well received in this node. Okay, so we are going to throw a super attack. There we have to look at it. What good damage we have done. We put the demolition on it, and be very careful with that app. You see, in this case, we have gone with the Fantastic Four node. We look back and we have generated cruelties. Therefore, we are going to do even more damage to our friend Iperio, as some call him. We throw a leg that at 3, and you are going to see how Omega Zen has the fall closely. Well, we haven't done him 0 damage, of course, because he has to be critical, okay? And take care of them at the same time. If we can continue with the perfect untouchable, great. Let's remember that super attack C games are usually non-critical hits, so that's why we haven't done any damage. So a character that we also use with critical hits against Mega Sentain is going to come to us very but very well. We go with Dormammu whenever attacker on the tour off, because she is a better attacker than the defender. Although second, she makes an unstoppable improvement. Note to the permanent fury effect scientific fighters. Therefore, here we are no longer seeing that we have to insert a scientific character, yes or yes, and if it is possible that we remove that singularity of removing that unstoppable, well, it is going to come to us very good. For example, I'm going to include Quisilberg, okay? Because Quisilberg, let's remember that he is a character that when we go back several times, we are going to put that disadvantage that he is going to remove. He is unstoppable, if not actually any scientific character. It is going to serve us very well here since we are going to generate ourselves with a fury. We hit hard, be careful, because there we have gone a little crazy. I don't know why. There we have 20 hard hits and we enter the mode. Then what we have to go back, and above all, stay away. When that timer activates for us, put it on us, and you are already seeing how we have put the weakness disadvantage under Dormam's life. And this way, it is no longer going to become unstoppable. In this case, as you are seeing, let's see if his letter has us to look at. We have been close, and the unstoppable himself has not become, therefore that makes it easier for us to kill him, as you just saw. And the simplest thing that has been a truth that we slept has been very simple. We claim those prices, and be careful because we are living with Atuna here. He is a somewhat complicated character, but you are already seeing that he is not duplicated. We are going to leave because we have not actually read the notes. As the defender suffers high voltage, the strength of the attacker's attack increases, and the defender is more likely to use strong attacks and running attacks. Therefore, you have to bring a character that uses high voltage. Okay, let's go. Let's see what character he can be. I'm thinking City Price, not Photon, Longshot, Dragonman. Look, Spearman is prices, so that 2 vision without generation, I'm not seeing a character like that due to high voltage. Well, yes, Storm. Storm puts in high voltage, it can be quite good for us. And on top of that, we have the passive stop of this. No, it is not passive stop. That is the Storm of Pyramid XP. Even so, the character will serve us quite well. We simply have to be a little careful with the Tomb so that we remember that it is quite a defender. And powerful, quite strong. Okay, so let's go interpret. Let's generate our efficiencies. Let's remember that it has, it does have that passive stun. Okay, perfect. Therefore, it comes to us very well against this tomb. I think it is counter-natural. And also, as I said, as always, I usually give several options. Storm Pyramid X Dust. Jim Gray can serve us very well in this non-care because now we have caught it in a totally spectacular way. But look at that super attack 2 and the massive damage that has made Storm a rather unappreciated character, and that is not usually used in the meta. We are going friends against. Every time the necessary react at a disadvantage, all the wind reduces the duration and the necessary has the priority of activating super attack 2. Here, yes, you have to put an immune to hospitalization, and of course the best one because it is going to be a 2-star human torch and logically activating its flame improvement, not its splash, or rather the Nova Flame Flash. We have to activate it, and in this way we will do ultramassive damage to Mephisto. We will be immune to incineration, and with that we will be able to do a lot of damage. Otherwise, any character immune to incineration will serve us a lot, and as always, even if he says he has more, throwing Super Attack 2 is better than forcing him to throw Super Attack 1, which is easier to dodge, and Super Attack 2 in the end is like a wave, okay? Even so, in this case, if we had any interaction, absolutely nothing would happen to us. Be careful, he hit us a few times there, nothing happens. There we have him as we are. Loading it very well, perfect, ready, and let's see that we already have it, Super Attack 2. And Mephisto falls because in the end, the Human Torch is the best that can be given to him against this Mephisto. Next stop, folks, don't we have our friend Venom Pull? The attacker starts with 7 filming charges. As a running attacker, the defender blocked hits eliminates a charge from the rival defender, establishes a charge which the attacker has no charge, suffers the 3-second passive stun event. He is the super stun defender. The attacker's attack door increases attack by 200% when the defender takes a 50% hit through their demolition. So in this case, we are going to put in a character who does massive damage, and above all, who helps us to derive the character, okay? And who has stupefaction. For example, Doctor, I can think of Totally Supreme Style or Rita, Dragonman, Thingman. Any mystical character who comes to these nodes can come very well to us. So in this case, we are going to do it with Dr. Doom because I feel like doing it. In the end, we also have the Klecken advantage, and in the end, we will see how it works. We should almost be approaching the boss by now, or more or less, we should be close. Careful because we just got a whiff. People see, not anti-venom. By the way, friends, Tomorrow, I bring you a top of the 6 best characters to choose from this rebirth event. So don't miss it because I say there. Or, which is the best character for me to be able to select. Okay, so friends, I recommend that you pay attention to the channel tomorrow because I will do this piece of Top Subratak 2. I am already seeing how with auto voltage our damage becomes stronger because Dr. Dampos itself leaves auto voltage with blows and with strong blows even more. Very good. Next node, friends. We have Anti-Venom. We should already be close. Look, we have a few Anti-Venom fights left. What it has is that this defender receives 60% less damage while the player has no disadvantages applied because the disadvantage of the defender, this damage reduction, is always reduced by the attacker is that he was going to attack both characters. It is a joint disadvantage. When the defender knocks down, it has an energetic walk effect, and when the attacker performs a programmed block, when this has a passive disoriental defect, in this case, as always, we have to go for the class advantage. We are going to take a skilled one. And in this case, it does you a lot of damage. For example, we could do we have to go with Screen Barry? I can't. He's a skilled character, but don't take away the disadvantages, okay? So we're going to go with Nick Fury. I think that Nick Fury can be quite good. Even Kimping, but not Kimping, because in the end, it regenerates. Sorry, the disadvantages are removed. So here, you have to select a skillful character that does not remove the improvements. So what I have said, Screen Buddy Quimpin annoys those completely discarded with Nick Fury. I think that we are going to be able to use it. Remember that here, when we make a stop, it is going to be giving us forgiveness. It is going to be removing the reduction, and it is going to be deoriental. Okay, and in this case, I am already seeing that the damage is not so massive because right now we do not have as many possible disadvantages placed on ourselves. So we have to be aware that it gives us those disadvantages because let us remember Cantivenom since it puts quite a few disadvantages. We have to look at it as going backwards. We are already generating a little more damage, and we are already generating the damage we have with Insuri Super Takwe 2 ready. We do a little more damage. We are already doing more damage due to disadvantage. Be careful because there he has been purified and has done us a lot of damage. Thank goodness. Super Tak 2, it is quite easy to avoid, although it has left us some knocks. We continue. He has literally no life left. He has 16% left. Let's see if we can see him with a good combo. We have it there, the Super Attack 1.1, weak combo. We finish a Super Attack 2, and then this, our Anti-Venom ends here. Any skilled character that does not purify its disadvantages is going to be very good for us. We go with Null whenever the attacker blocks a hit under attack. It tells him about attack. He has a Fury improvement that increases the attack by 20%, while this distance, Fury improvements, blocking damage that asks copy power are paused whenever he is purified, eliminates an attacker disadvantage, receives a raise of damage. So here you have to put a character that does not remove the disadvantages that this Null puts in is worth. We are living again with the class advantage. We are going to look for a Mystic who is good. Then Tigran can serve us quite well. Although I think it is better to do so with that explosive damage he has here. In reality, you have to be careful not to put in a character that removes your disadvantages. And you are already very careful with the Super Attack 1 of Null. As always, when you throw it, you can put reversed controls after a while. Therefore, I recommend that you go to the Super Attack 2 of Null, which is much easier to avoid. Okay, we just block and I'd be very careful. Well, we are approaching the key moment. I recommend that you make a stop that has a strong blow and you keep hitting it with a combo, a blocking blow, and we have already charged it with Super Attack 2. Therefore, we go back ready and let's see if we can reach Super Attack 2 and either with a blow or with a strong blow, we are going to do that tremendous damage that almost killed him. Okay, there we have it, and be careful that it will be for a few blows, but be careful because so I didn't have Super Attack 11, which is not the one we should want to have, but not Super Attack 1. I think we have already finished it, and indeed ours is so powerful that it goes through. Because it drains directly, we still have quite a few characters with pure action. In this case, I have not read the nodes. We have Lamol. Let's see what nodes they bring. And when the attacker makes an intersection, his strong attack increases by 200%. Whenever he has that super attack action, he inflicts 2 petrify advantages. And there are times he is more likely to use strong attacks and running attacks. So you have to include a character who throws hemorrhage. Why? To remove all those rocky loads that our friend Mole is used to throwing her. For example, here there are already variants and that works very well for us. Rather, it can work well for us welded in winter. It can't work very well for us. Kate Visor, in the end, they are characters who get those King Visor hemorrhages. In this case, it doesn't get Cold Hour, but it can also serve us very, very well, right? He's not going to compose Yabari because the truth is I want to play with the character and on top of that, he's bleeding. Therefore, we are going to keep those rocky loads at bay in the form of Furies, which in reality doesn't matter to us a little because their thing is that they don't hit us. Be careful that they can petrify us. Therefore, we are not going to be healing in the fight. But nothing happens either because we didn't plan on being hit. So perfect. You still have a few process loads left to see if we can put him at a disadvantage. Please don't. He didn't want to put him at a disadvantage. But hey, if that happens to you, you hit him in blocking so that super attack 1 hits you. And with that, all the disadvantages of rock are removed. So to speak, the advantages of rock, and in this way, that annoying implant that the Hamole is used to having is no longer activated. Okay? Ready? Let's hit him a little more in blocking because he still has those charges. He has 10. Be careful because now he has taken it off and he's going to bother us a lot again unless we go with a medium blow of X and a half and apart. You are already seeing that if we intercept, we get that Fury improvement. So it is also good to intercept Lamol. Ready? Let's see if we intercept a perfect sub-attack 1, for example, a sub-attack 2, and we do good damage. At the moment, he has 7. Be careful that today he has hit us some blows. Yes, 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 he does hit hard, this little bastard. Let's see that you have no return than 1. And if not, well, I tell you, I'll give you a little bit of blocking. Let's see a little more pum 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 pum. We have 14 to see if we can give him a blow in blocking. And if not, a blow is only worth it. There we are, that he has a super attack very well. So that burden of resources is removed, a little bit of the ego with this mole. Because at the end of it being removed, that protection is put on that has bad loads or things. Playing with them may be bothering us a little. What do we have left? Knight 3, the World Beast of Silver, and the Chief are going after our friend. Oh, I don't remember what it's called. I always forget the name of this staff. Mist in Midnight, I think it's called. I think so. Well, let's say that the notes tell us that Aladdin disadvantage in the Catalan Defender has 60% probity, because the Aladdin disadvantage in the Defender obtaining an accuracy improvement. Every time the Defender alludes to that, Turata also has a disadvantage of disorienting. The best are eliminated in law through growth cancellations that I point out and a burst of damage. Okay, in this case, what we're going to do is put in a character that avoids illusion. Okay, it could be pretty good for us. For example, Molman. Molman gives us that improvement in precision in the end. And although we may be achieving 3rd precision in the fight itself, I think it is the best thing to still give him a mystical character. It will also serve us because every time we are going to take away an advantage, we are going to do direct damage to this Mysticum. In this case, we are going to do it straight to pure Molman directly to prevent this character from helping us, which I also tell you is a very tedious character. This Mestinet, when you turn around, starts to go crazy. I am seeing how we have accurate precision and always force Mister to throw super attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid. There you are seeing how we have avoided them perfectly and almost, because we are basically developing the fight. And if for whatever reason we miss a Mista blow, well, accompanied by those cold wave disadvantages in this case, well, we could avoid them in a good way because Molman removes those disadvantages. Perfect, see? Super attack 1 is very easy to dodge, which is just going back and sliding. And I'm seeing how it comes out all the time to avoid failed, because we remember that Misty Knight has an ability that she can make the illusion quickly, and in this case, she can bother us, since they would put us at a disadvantage. They could put a lot of obstacles in the node, but in this case, and you are seeing that as a German, it comes out perfectly, since that's how we have it at 29%. We have Tun 5, 2, 2, 2, 1, and 10 perfect. The truth is that Molman does totally terrible damage, and so that you can see that we have not made any mistakes. In the game, we have had 0 loads of the monstrosity that Molman has to be able to activate his improvements. Okay, we have some 30% ahead of the defender for the life of those strong attacks. Finish 1.5 some second half with a tape which increases your attack force. You can gain up to 10 charges if all the charges are lost when performing the same. The defenders are the same regarding annulment obstruction. Okay, in this case, you have to add a character. Let it be scientific, because let's remember that it is mystical and it will be much simpler. Kill him. Okay, I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we have Mr. Fantastic here, although it wouldn't be the option anymore and we're going to leave with Scorpion at all. Come on, I feel like it. I feel like doing a little bit. I was going to do a little bit of show with Mr. Fantastic, but I say no, I'm going to do it directly with the Scorpion, which is the fastest, the simplest, and we would have it. Okay, so here's the only thing. It's just that we have one super attack no, which is the easiest to avoid. He's not a difficult character, he doesn't have difficult nodes. In reality, with any scientific character, you can be giving it and you are already seeing how it works quite well. As soon as we put a few poisonings on it and it is going to throw super attack 1, which you are already seeing is simply a one-hit animation and some back. And they would already be, well, with that, we are going to generate his whole life. Okay, the separate knot benefits us a lot, because if we finish a combo in a medium weak blow, we will generate a ribbon, and then we finish the combo in a weak blow, we will generate others. Fury improvements. Now we should determine the combo in a medium blow again, and in this way we would have, well, even more damage. Okay, because we are winning those furies, at most we can be winning 10, okay, this way. But in reality, with Scorpio, it would not be necessary, so to speak. Perfect. We keep rolling a weak combo that in this case, if you repeat it again, it would be eliminated. But you are already seeing that with one, it has turned out very, very simple. We are going to go with Viso, okay? Next character, whenever the defender has had a super attack and obtains a consumption load, that increases super attack by 10 for each load. When the defender has 10 or more charges with their definition, the defender supermassively eliminates power blockers for 10 seconds. While the defender is suffering an anti-corrosion and their power blockers, the attacker gains plus 100% combat power rate. Okay, well, here we have to make it a technological character who is anti. Cures for the good-natured Visor. A couple already come to mind, such as, for example, you're going to see it right now. Rocket, BID, Vision, Ultron, Iron Man, Ghost. In fact, we're going to do it with Ghost that I feel like playing it. You haven't played with it in a long time because it's no longer in the 7-star goal. I miss him a lot and it will be much easier for us to deal with him. It is not the most suitable to do so because it does not involve joints, but the truth is that I want to play with it here. Any technological goal, joints will serve us spectacularly. Okay, friends? We are still there with the failure mode. As I miss this character, I hope he gets out of 7 stars as soon as possible. We have him very well there. We are going to make a stop to see if he comes, and we pull back and roll critical hits. Very good. The important thing here is to force him to throw Super Attack 2, which is the easiest to avoid and is also the one that will facilitate the issue of failure. Okay, there we have it, 20 UF. You see, just the incineration has entered us as I knew it. I knew that he wasn't going to enter, but hey, nothing happens because the disadvantages of initiation, well, we turn it into fury. That is, we're going to make another stop. Come on, this may be the most complicated of the own path, but in reality, you have already seen that it has turned out very simple. We are leaving with the last two characters before facing Asts, and Louis Silver tells us that every time the attacker of Reverse Defenders is purified, the disadvantages of the attacker, when the attacker, the difference does not have a passive effect of precision, that another gives guaranteed critical hits, and every 5 hits in the top of attackers, an improvement is created of resolution that allows you to block an unblockable blow. Okay, here any character can serve us. Okay, but I always prefer to include skilled characters due to class advantage. And here I think we are going to be including Kimping. Okay, because let's remember that it is a character that removes disadvantages. And let's remember that Quisilberg leaves Whiplash disadvantages. That if we don't manage to remove them, they are going to explode us and do us a lot of damage. So keep an eye on that and be very careful. Let's see if come perfect. There we have it. Be careful that they haven't hated us. You see how our whips are being removed. That's very important. Here also, a character that removes the disadvantages can be Moleman, although we have already used Moleman in the past. So you would have to study whether using it here or not is worth it with a stop. I also tell you that those lashes are removed, but since I already had many, they may not be costing you enough of your life, okay? And always force the quick server to have sub attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid. As you have already seen, it is simply 3 swipes back and directly, since we beat Koiselberg, we are already going for the boss, who is our friend Havok, okay? And the Jomiko character receives an account for 100 base attack, and the technological characters receive a 40% penalty. Be careful. Simon's weight is the price of emboldening and intimidation. You have to look for a cosmic character that has robustness. This is literally the key, okay? Then I would tell you, I don't like any of them. I prefer to play with the penalty. It's the safest thing you can do to see. Super Scroll has that sturdiness, but it doesn't suit you. I believe that although there is a penalty, it is much safer to play with a character that generates robustness, such as Warlock, Classic Iron Man, even if they take away that power from us. Just make the fight longer, but it will be much easier to do. Because let's remember that if you don't have robustness, Harok is going to do you totally gross and disgusting damage per screen. It's okay because you basically explode those plasma charges and they're going to do you a lot of damage. In this case, we prefer to have less damage, but save the fight more. So I recommend that you always do it with a technological character that has robustness, as you are already seeing. In this case, my chosen one has been Warlow, which I said literally at the beginning of the fight. Be very careful with that. 1, 2, and 3 are perfect, and on top of that, we generate cruelty improvements that will increase our damage per critical index. You are already seeing that it takes a little longer than normal, but with Warlock, it is also quite easy to get out. There we have it. We generate the cruelty improvement. We throw away your money, that too. Well, maybe what is very simple to play. And you are seeing that despite the damage reduction, it comes out very, very simple, huh? So you are seeing if, for example, here you have Bastion, it can also come quite well. Although Bastion discovers that its robustness is passive, so it doesn't work. Holbox can already serve you very well. Ultron, with its robustness, can also serve you in the end cosmic ones that generate robustness. There are very few. For example, Silver Sorcerer we have used before. That one would generate it. But as long as we don't lose that improvement. And we would already have it, friends, this Chris Mini Crucible Part 3, okay? But we still have to throw away that. I have some doubts about this character because let's remember that we had to be throwing away the relic. But the 3-star characters do not have a relic. We generate these monthly crystal chips very well. More crystals of the perfect monthly crystal and more crystals of the monthly ministry, plus that mystery that comes very well, this 14250 and those Titan chips that also come spectacular. And it would be now, and we would simply have to face the good-natured CERASTES. So let's go there. Okay, friends? And we are already with CERASTES as always. Yes, you can put a relic on the 3-star character. So I recommend that you do it before starting the fight. Because, friends, we are going to have to use that relic to remove those robustness that Iron Man CERASTES has. you are already seeing that under the life of Iron Man CERASTES, there are 3 purple icons. One, which suits the legs. Another, some Lopeteo, and another to the relic. Okay, so we're going to have to give him and lower that block as much as possible, because if not, that's where we're going to be able to be removing his armor and doing really interesting and really good damage to lower the life of this character. I'm going to advance the video a little bit so that they don't look more eternal. Okay, because it took me a little bit to get into the dynamics. Okay, and you're already seeing it. Basically, I recommend that what you do is enter the branch with a stop, make a combo, and then you hit the block only once, okay? Because if you hit it twice, it regenerates. And in this case, I'm seeing it's for 300. Once that good thing passes, you do another one again to carry the relic and throw it away. As it is going to happen here right now, then that way you will be able to remove that rebuset that he has. And then after that, a strong blow. That is the dynamic that stops continuing with CERASTES to remove all those functions that those armors have and really do it. The damage we need is okay. In this case, it is already the first phase. It is the simplest, and as always, the thing to do is force you to throw Super Attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid, which is basically like Super Attack 1 of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Okay, even so, although if you remove one, you are going to be hurting it, but you really hurt it when you remove them all. You are already seeing how we have demolished one, therefore we only have the one with the relic left and stick it in block. I always missed a double blow, as you are seeing, and the shield regenerated even more. In this case, we have to be sticking. And as I repeat again, you have to make a combo. Then you have to do a blocking hit. Then you have to do another combo, throw the relic, and a hard hit. That is, so to speak, the most important thing you have to be accomplishing with this one. There are dons to strip him of all his armor. Okay, let's fast forward the video a little so you can see when we break all his armor. Because then it is true that it turns out even simpler. The fight is worth it when you move to phase 2 and you have it all there. How do we need 65% already? Let's remember that CERASTES has 4 phases. And in this case, we almost have it in the second phase. Because when it changes phase, you have to do something quite important. Because otherwise, we are not going to be doing any type of damage. So we are going to see if we change phase, if we manage to reinvent all those shields and everything, and you are going to be seeing it right now. By the way, in the meantime, I have to tell you if you're interested in the Crucible. On side 8, I have it at a discount. I recommend that you go to WhatsApp, which you have there in the description if you are interested. And this way you can do it at a very reduced price compared to other people who make Marvel type of content. So I recommend that you go for a super reduced price to win all those brutal prices. Okay, we have already broken the block. All we have left is the relic and the throwing. Okay, you are already seeing how right now we are going to throw him and we are just going to hit him. That will reduce him, as you are seeing with the strong blow. He has little left now. Let's see if he leaves us before those red armor comes off and we already have damage there. Damage. Now we can really do him the damage he deserves, and I can already see that we have moved on to the next phase. I see that the icons have been turned purple in phase 2. Okay, this is phase 3. The icons have been turned purple. You have to play as CERASTES to be able to get all those damages again and start again as you are already seeing. And again, the combo that I have told you, combo or the one for blocking, relic combo and strong blow. That is why you are already achieving what changes here in phase 3, which returns to immune urgency and also enters with a random number in those robustness, in those armor, as you are already seeing that it has entered. Because with more, for example, of the relic, instead of less blocking and with less hitting to throw the hard blow, as you are seeing with the damaged legs. The truth is that saying you are not difficult, you simply have to stick the right blocks on the relic and in the combos, as I'm telling you, and avoid repeating it, because if not, you are already seeing that it is doubled for 300 and directly right now, I can't hit him. Hard blow is worth blocking. Sorry, because if you don't do pretty good damage again, and as I always say, force him to throw Super Attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid, which is like a Cosmic Rider, the truth is that you will miss it. I think he's one of the easiest bosses. Once you understand him, he's worth more than Bahamut or even the other. You are already seeing that. Again, we have to intercept so that we can go back to the last phase, which is the simplest but at the same time the most dangerous. And you are going to see why we have to intercept it to see if it is left and not. It is leaving the kid of CERASTES. There we have it. And exactly what is happening is that you are returning to phase 4. There is a little clock and there is an unstoppable. That little clock has to be finished so that that unstoppable is removed, because what it is doing is reverberating damage. Therefore, we cannot be. By sticking, you can be gaining a little time with that religion like I have done. And once that happens, it becomes intimidation and we have to hit it in blocking twice and it would already be in a CERASTES. So friends, well with this, we have finished the secondary mission of August 25 with this mini crucible of part 3 with Iron CERASTES. I hope you liked the way and above all that, it helped you a lot in sharing all this content. As I say again, you have the crucible at a fairly low offer in case you want it and you have doubts. Thank you for having it and I like the video you spent and see you in other videos. Bye bye. And before finishing the video, thank you very much to all of you who are members of the channel for becoming a member. You got it in the description. Many thanks to the VidSoris of Ana Banana, Eliel Ramirez, and Oscar Salmeron, and to the authentic Sori of Facundo Juan. Thank you all very much.